Good morning, respected Saman sir, respected Bhate ma'am, Shrita Avinash Deshmukh, Dr. Bhate, all the well-wishers, the leaders. I welcome all of you on behalf of MKCL. I think Mr. Deshmukh and Dr. Vijaya Bhate found the right place to release this book, because MKCL has been working very extensively over the last 20 years to carve out the careers for the millions of people, not just in the state of Maharashtra, not just in India, but internationally as well. Students from across 180 countries registered for our course, and while they are registering and while they are taking our courses, they are being offered those courses which are going to empower them. The skills that they acquire are not something which will be obsolete by the time they receive their certificates. I'm not going to speak much about MKCL. Today's day is for a very different reason. My very heartfelt appreciation to the authors for bringing out a book for which the timing couldn't be even better. Today, the society, the students, the parents, they are going through some very different phase in their life. They are very confused, they are very anxious. There's so much of write-up about automation and technology and displacement, replacement, that human beings are going to be substituted. And so this book, let me say that from the title itself, I was so attracted beyond the mainstream, and that meant a lot. Because we see around us students who are, I must say that unfortunately they have on the one hand, it's very good that they're very focused, that they know what they want to do. They are trying to pursue their dreams. They are appearing for competitive examinations, NEET, JEE, all sorts of competitive examinations. But nobody prepares them for their option 2 in life. There is going to be a very limited intake capacity for all these programs. And it is very disheartening for the students and the parents together as a family when they do not make it into these programs. So I think that this book is very refreshing. The timing is right, and it's not something which happened in, these careers started way back in 2020 or 2021. It is so current that when I was going through the book, I could even see a mention of ChatGPT. So that's why it is so current. That what has technology done? It has disrupted. And then what does it mean for me as a student, that how can I work with technology? I think that complete write-up about complementing technology and growing your career and playing a very creative role, I think that is a very refreshing, it sends of fresh air and generates a lot of enthusiasm, very optimistic view for the parents and for the youth. And I think that is something which is a very good takeaway. While reading this book, I also felt very interesting, and I think I must make a mention of that. You may be having a hobby or you may be having an interest, but can you pursue a career? Invariably parents say, "Hey, ही तुमची hobby आहे बरं का, हे काही याच्याने तुला पैसे मिळणार नाही." But the entire write-up or the 50 emerging careers which were getting highlighted, I'm sure that you had a big repository of careers from which you had to choose the 50 careers. And in each of those careers or each of those roles, I could see, invariably की ह्याच्यात काय मिळणार आहे का? Financially मला काय मिळणार आहे का? Socially, is there going to be some glamour? Can I boast that my son is doing this and my daughter is doing this? So those were some very interesting takeaways, and I really encourage that parents and students both this is a must, especially right now, these students are going through their 10th and 12th standard examinations, but which stream to choose? And then is there going to be a future in that? So the STEM and the STEAM approach is also something which I really liked. It's not restricted only to STEM, because I come from a STEAM background, so that was very interesting for me. So if you're an economics major, then there are so many other options, And the other thing which I also think which is important for parents or the students, I must say, is not just the skills, but the behavioral components, the personality attributes. And is this career for me? And there are so many careers, and when like brigadier is here, and so it looks very glamorous. But is this for me? Am I a risk taker? Can I face that danger zone? Can I take decisions on my feet? So those behavioral aspects which got covered, I could say, I can understand that it's not just Shri Avinash Deshmukh, but Dr. Bhate has brought that psychological angle. And that's when you climb your career, when the skills meet the personality. That's a perfect career. And with different careers or with different roles, the personality angles which got highlighted, I thought that was very important. It helps a student navigate and say, okay, like for example, I think in the AI and machine learning engineer, while on the one side that student is going to work with technology, but does he have a love for maths? Is he curious enough to understand how does the world move? Or what are the patterns? Is that curiosity angle? Those behavioral traits are not seen in other roles. Hence, those 50 careers and the behavioral aspects brings that additional flavor, and that's why this book is distinctly different from so many books that we see in the market. So compliments to the authors, their experience over last 25, 30, 40 years is seen in the write-up. I think that this book is a must-read, not just for students and parents, but for all of us as professionals as well. Because how is the world moving? What are the aspirations of the youth? And it helps when we talk to the students. You can be a if you like traveling, then you can be that travel blogger and make enough money. It's a decent living, and you can grow in your career. So right from technology, where you have spoken about, invariably we see parents scolding their kids, ki tu kya divas bhar games khelta. But there is a virtual reality developer and an augmented reality developer in that as well. So, navigate and channelize that youngster to the right direction, help him and grow, let him grow with that technology. Let's not make two parts of that. And I think, that's why it's a very inspirational and very hand-holding book, and where you have spoken about the psychometric tests. I think that's something that we sort of ignore. We do not look at it. We just say, okay, IIT aahe, ye aahe, te aahe, NID aahe. But that psychometric test helps the student. So both things are equally important. And thanks to both of you for putting this book together. Compliments. Yeah, thank you.